Imagine spending years building up a YouTube channel. You've got millions of subscribers, hundreds of videos. This YouTube channel is making you $2.5 million a year. And then one morning you wake up and it's gone. No warning, no second chances. It is literally gone. This is exactly what happened to one of the biggest AI channels on YouTube. It's a channel called Cuentos Fascinantes. It had 5.9 million subscribers, 1.28 billion views. And like I said, it was making millions of dollars a year. This just happened in January of 2026. And it was not just this one channel. In a single sweep, YouTube deleted 16 channels just like it, with a total of 4.75 billion views, 35 million subscribers, all of it just wiped clean from YouTube. And you might be thinking, okay, you said it was an AI channel. And those AI channels, they kind of suck. That AI slop, that mass-produced content, there's not a real person there. They had it coming. And you know what? I agree. I think you're right. Here's what makes me really think about this situation. Because the obvious stuff, the channels that are obviously fake, they're just gaming the system. They're just churning out slop after slop after slop after slop. They're actually the easy channels to spot. It's what's happening in the gray zone that nobody's talking about yet. I've been doing this for 10 years. I work with dozens of real creators every single day. And lately, I've been coming across channels where I genuinely cannot tell what's real and what isn't. Channels that look almost real, they sound almost real, looks like they're getting real views, real engagement, real comments, real subscribers, and I can't seem to figure it out. It's almost like some of these channels, I'm like, is this a person? Is it not? If I, someone who has spent 10 years watching thousands of YouTube channels, am sitting here genuinely unsure about what I'm looking at, what chance does anybody else have? A regular viewer, your grandma, your mom, your teenager. And that question, more than the 4.7 billion deleted views, is what tells me that everything has changed on YouTube. The CEO of YouTube just dropped this 2026 letter, and buried inside of it are things that explain exactly what's happening right now, and most importantly, what it means for your YouTube channel, or if you're not on YouTube yet, what it means if you're gonna get onto YouTube soon. My name is Erika Vieira. I've been producing YouTube channels for almost 10 years. I've worked with over 2,000 women creators across dozens of niches. I've seen every trend, every algorithm shift, every YouTube change that this platform has thrown at us. And I'm telling you that what is happening on YouTube right now in 2026 is unlike anything I've ever seen before. By the end of this video, you're gonna understand what's really going on, what it means for you specifically as a business owner, an entrepreneur, a creative, and exactly what you need to do about it. Alrighty then, class is in session. Every single year, the CEO of YouTube writes a letter to the creator community on YouTube.
And it's really a way for us to be very transparent with our entire ecosystem. Of course, our creators and viewers, partners, and share what we think are the priorities for the upcoming year.
And this year's letter tells you exactly where YouTube is putting its money, its attention, and its energy in 2026. And if you know where YouTube is focused, then you know what you need to be doing here on the platform and where the actual opportunity is. I'm gonna break down the 3 most important priorities that I think are relevant to you as a female business owner, entrepreneur, creative on YouTube. Priority number 1, creators are the new stars and the new studios. YouTube has been the #1 streaming platform in the US for almost 3 years. Not Netflix, not Disney Plus, not Hulu, YouTube. That says something. And the CEO made it very clear that creators are at the center of why this is all happening.
Creators really are at that epicenter of culture. They're building out their own studios, studio-sized lots in Hollywood. They have enormous fandoms all over the world.
Creators aren't just making videos anymore. They are building full media companies, and YouTube is investing in making this easier than ever. The CEO said that the era of dismissing this content as simply UGC is way gone. These are actual shows built by creators who greenlight themselves. This is a massive shift on how YouTube sees its creators, and it should change how you see yourself as well. Shorts is also part of the picture, and the CEO confirmed that Shorts is now averaging 200 billion views every single day, and YouTube is continuing to invest heavily in the Shorts format. But, and this is really, really important, the money, the trust, the real business building, it still happens in the long form content. We're gonna come back to that in a little bit. We got priority number 2. Powering the creator economy. This is where it gets really, really interesting for anybody that's trying to make money on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube and spending any time at all on YouTube, you really should be trying to make some money from it. The CEO said something that I think every single person here on YouTube needs to hear.
We are the world's original and largest creator economy. We intend to remain that way. I'm incredibly proud of the fact that over the last 4 years, we've paid out over $100 billion to creators, artists, media companies and other partners.
$100 billion. YouTube isn't going anywhere. This is a platform that is not slowing down. This is a platform that is doubling down on the people who create for it. And they're adding even more ways for you as a creator on YouTube to make money. We've got YouTube Shopping, Fan Fundy, and even a different way to approach your brand deals. And this is a feature that I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the video, so you're going to want to stick around for that. Now, priority 3, AI. So this is what YouTube is saying. They're saying that they're supercharging and safeguarding the creativity. This is a big one. This is where I think things get really, really interesting. It's where I started this video, because YouTube is doing two things at the exact same time that might look like they might contradict each other. But understanding the contradiction and why they're doing each thing is going to be really important. On one hand, YouTube is building more AI tools for creators. And in just this past December, over 1 million channels on YouTube use YouTube's AI creation tools every single day. The CEO talked about creators being able to use their own likeness to create shorts, generate games from a single text prop, and experiment with AI music tools. YouTube genuinely believes that AI can be an incredible creative tool for real creators on the platform. But on the other hand, as we just saw with those 16 deleted channels and 4.7 billion wiped out views, YouTube is doing something at least with this AI slop that we see that's taking over the platform. And they are clear about what this crackdown on that AI content actually means. This is not a war on AI creators. It is a move against low effort automation at scale. YouTube isn't coming for those creators who are using AI thoughtfully. Obviously, it actually has tools for creators to use AI. They're coming for those channels that use AI to produce low quality content, fake engagement, and deceive viewers at scale, like we saw with Cuentos Fascinantes. Here's getting a little bit more complicated. Because the obvious AI slop, the channels pumping out mass-produced generic content with fake engagement, these are relatively easy to identify and delete. It's obvious that it's slop. It's the gray zone that's a little bit harder to navigate. And this is what I want to talk about here, because this is the part that I think that nobody's really talking about yet. Like I said, I watch a lot of YouTube. I am on YouTube and then I'm watching videos and other videos are being suggested to me and I'm checking out other channels. So I see what's going on across all different areas on YouTube. And I recently came across this channel called Good Dreams Only. At first glance, it's an amazing channel. She has style tips, color psychology. It's geared for women over 40 or over 50. It's getting a decent amount of views. The content is doing all the right things. In fact, I found the channel because it was suggested against a couple of the other channels that I work with in the back-end analytics. At first, I was like, oh, wow, okay, what is this channel? It's kind of blowing up. And then when I went into it and started watching it, at first, I was like, wait a minute, is this AI? Like, is she real? Some of the videos looked really filtered, almost artificial, and there was something a little bit off that I couldn't put my finger on. I enjoyed the content. It was really good content. She was great. And then I watched more videos, and then I went to some of the older videos, and then I dug a little bit deeper. I was like, no, she's a real person. Like, this is really her, at least in the older videos. But maybe now she's using a heavy filter. Maybe now there's just something about the way it's filming that looks a little bit artificial, but it's actually her. Maybe she's experimenting with AI tools for some of her content, like using an AI avatar for some of her content, but not all of it. Like I said, I'm not totally sure. And I think she's doing an amazing job. No knock on her channel. I'm only bringing this up because the problem that I see is that gray zone. It's not the obvious slop. It's actually real creators venturing into AI tools, filters, avatars, AI-assisted video in ways that blur the line between authentic and artificial. And if there's not really any disclosure that, hey, this is AI generated, we're in this weird gray zone of not knowing what's real and what isn't. And you're supposed to say, hey, I used AI, but what exactly does that mean? In this day and age, everyone's kind of using AI to an extent. I mean, this is me. I'm here. There's no AI avatar, but I definitely had Claude help me out with some of the talking points I'm talking about here. So where is that line? YouTube doesn't necessarily state that creators have to disclose when they're using realistic synthetic content. But what does that mean exactly? And as these tools get a lot better and more accessible, more affordable, this gray zone is going to be wider and wider and wider. And the question that every creator needs to ask themselves right now is this: if you start using AI in ways that blur the line between real and artificial, and if you don't necessarily tell your audience, at what point do you lose the very thing that makes you valuable in the first place, which is that trust, that humanity, that connection? Do you owe your audience to tell them when you're using AI or how you're using AI? Or do they not need to know as long as it's really good content? I think both have valid points. And this is the conversation that we need to be having. And it's exactly, I think, why YouTube is starting to talk about AI a lot more. They have to. It's there. A lot of people are using it, not everybody, but it matters right now. And I'm going to continue to follow what YouTube and the CEO are doing about AI, and I'll continue to bring that here to this channel. What is it for you? Are you pro AI? Are you anti AI? What is your stance? If you decide to use an AI avatar, which isn't actually you, which is an AI version of you, should you tell your audience? I personally would like to know if somebody's using an AI avatar. I think that's how you build even more trust. But we know that there's probably a lot of people out there not doing that. What does that mean for the platform?
And the goal there is very simple, which is to really use AI to empower the amazing human creativity that happens on YouTube every single day.
And in my opinion, AI is there. It's a tool. We do need to use it. The toothpaste is out of the tube. It's there to make real creators better, faster, able to do things in a more efficient way. But obviously, it should not replace the human behind the content. When asked directly about how YouTube plans to handle the spread of low-quality AI content, the CEO said,
"We're going to treat it based on our track record of being able to do that around things like clickbait, low quality, repetitive content. You should expect to see a lot more investment from YouTube, building on what we've been doing over the last couple of years."
When it comes to these type of channels like the Cuentos Fascinantes, they're saying that they're not giving warnings, they're not giving second chances, they are acting, and based on what we saw, they mean it. I think for the rest of us, this is a really, really good thing. We do not need additional AI slop clogging the YouTube content feeds. I did a whole video on how that is impacting the algorithm, and you're gonna wanna make sure that you check that out next. Here's another topic that was in that letter from the CEO, unrelated to AI. Let me break down what is actually coming and why it matters for your YouTube channel right now. Right now, when you film a sponsor segment in a video, that sponsor lives in that video forever. You get paid once from the sponsor, and they get that exposure for years. Even if your video goes viral and gets millions of views when you're just a tiny channel, which is the amazing part about YouTube. What I love the most about YouTube is the fact that a video can live forever and make you money forever. Well, it's also giving exposure to that sponsor forever. You give them a permanent billboard for a one-time check. That's how YouTube sponsorships have worked since forever. This is about to change completely. YouTube is rolling out something called dynamic ad insertion.
And then another one that I'm very excited about, that I know creators are very excited about, which is being able to dynamically swap out the sponsor creative that they had been working with in their videos for another one, and to make that entire process dynamic.
And what this means is that you'll be able to remove an old sponsor from a video and drop in a new one. Moving forward, not in the old videos that you have. And you can sell that same slot, that same ad slot, over and over again across the entire lifetime of your video. I did an entire video going into a lot more detail on what this looks like, so you are gonna wanna make sure that you check that out next. Think about what this actually means for your back catalog. If you have 50 videos that are each getting 2,000 views a month, that is 100,000 monthly views that you can now sell as rotating ad space. You could say, hey, I have this video that I uploaded a year ago, but it's still getting 1,000 views every 48 hours. If we created an ad slot, would you like to sponsor for a month, for 2 months? This has never existed before on this platform.
Creators can turn their back catalog into recurring revenue instead of letting it sit idle.
And it doesn't stop there. Like I said, watch that other video because I go into more detail, but this is a huge, huge advancement for YouTube and a major win for YouTube creators. Now, there's another way to make money on YouTube, YouTube Shopping. Over 500,000 creators are already enrolled in YouTube Shopping, and YouTube is putting a lot of resources towards this feature on their platform, where basically it's a world where viewers can buy products without ever leaving the app. I work with a lot of people who are in this world of YouTube Shopping. I have several clients making multiple six figures a year just from this one feature, not from the other sponsorships they have or the other affiliates they have, which is absolutely incredible. So if you stack all this together, a single evergreen video can now generate money 3 different ways at the same time, right? Directly from YouTube. We got the AdSense revenue. We've got those rotating brand deals from sponsors that you can swap every, say 30, 60, 90 days, whatever you want. And then we have affiliate commissions from the in-app shopping from YouTube Shopping. All compounding, all from the same video, all from the content you've already made. There is no other platform that offers anything close to this. TikTok videos, they have a shelf life of 48 hours. Instagram Reels literally disappear. YouTube videos, they live forever. And now they can keep earning in new ways for as long as those videos exist. But here is a catch that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. This entire monetization system only works if you're a real creator with a real audience that actually trusts you. So think about those faceless YouTube channels that I talked about earlier. They've been exploding the last few years on YouTube. They've got AI-generated scripts, AI voiceovers, stock footage. There's not really a real person. There's no real personality, no real connection. And some of these channels are getting tons and tons of views, where we saw some of those that got deleted were making $2.5 million a year. Here's the real reality. A brand is not going to want to sign a long-term rotating deal with a channel that has no real human behind it. A viewer who finds out that they've been watching, say, a fake AI avatar or voice and were never told, that viewer's not going to feel good about buying something that channel recommended. And as YouTube continues tightening its policies, as we just saw with those 16 deleted channels built entirely on automation, they're one policy update away from possibly losing everything. And here's the thing about the monetization diamond that I talk about, and I'll put a link to some of the other videos I talk about. AdSense, the brand deals, affiliates, your own products and services. These faceless AI channels can really only access one corner of that diamond: AdSense, because brand deals require a real human element that brands want to be associated with. The affiliate conversions require trust, and your own products and services also require a real person that an audience actually wants to buy from, that has real human experience. Real trust, the kind that unlocks all four corners of that diamond and sustains a real business long term, only comes from one place: a real human being who shows up consistently, shares their genuine perspective, and lets their audience actually know them. This is something that no automated channel can fake forever. They can definitely make some progress there, but your humanity at the end of the day, it is your advantage. And I'm talking about for right now. At some point, we are going to see more and more AI avatars where people are going to say, hey, no, this isn't AI. There's going to be AI avatars that are made up humans. And how much are people going to be okay with that? I don't know. There's already AI avatars making brand deals. But for now, I really believe that people are still craving that human connection. And I think people will always create that human connection. And there's always going to be a place for real humans, real creators. How much of that? I don't know. There might be a backlash to all this AI stuff, and we might not see people really embrace it for quite some time, or at all. Or we might see a different generation, a younger generation, really embracing it. But the CEO, he said it perfectly. For every idea a creator dreams up, we provide the business model to match. But you have to be a real creator for that business model to work for you. I've worked with over 2,000 women on their YouTube channels over the last 10 years. I've seen what works and what doesn't across dozens of niches, hundreds of channels, and every kind of creator you can imagine. And here's what I know for sure, right? I always say Oprah's, here's what I know for sure. The creators who are winning right now are not the ones chasing every algorithm change. They're not the ones pivoting to shorts every time YouTube shifts something. They're not the ones outsourcing their entire channel to AI and hoping that nobody notices. They're the ones doing the same thing that they've always done: creating genuinely valuable content for a very specific person, showing up consistently, being real. I have clients with 20,000 YouTube subscribers who are making more money than creators with 500,000 followers on Instagram. Why? Because YouTube builds a depth of trust that no other platform can match. And that trust is what converts into real revenue. Coaching clients, course sales, brand deals, affiliate income, all of it flows from trust. And that's the root of what I'm getting at right here. The algorithm will always change. The platform will always shift. Viewer behavior will shift. Viewers' appetite for different types of content is going to shift. The tools evolve. But the fundamental thing that makes YouTube work has never changed, and it never will. It's a real person with real expertise and real stories connecting with a real audience. And here's the thing that I keep coming back from this CEO letter. When he asked who the most important creator on YouTube will be in 5 years or 10 years, do you know what he said?
It's probably a creator that none of us have heard of. It might be a creator that's getting started right now, today.
He's talking about you, who's just getting started on YouTube, who has been on YouTube maybe, but maybe has a smaller channel, or who isn't even on YouTube yet. The most important creator on this platform 5 years from now might be someone who's starting their channel today. Someone who decides right now that they're going to show up as a real human being with real value to offer. Someone who uses AI as a tool to work smarter, but never lets it replace the thing that makes them irreplaceable: their stories, their perspective, their humanity. This window to establish yourself as that person, it's open right now. But mark my words, it is not going to stay open forever. AI is getting better every single month, heck, every single week. The platform is getting more competitive. The creators who move now, who plant their flag as real, authentic, human experts, they're the ones who are going to own this platform in the years ahead. Not the AI avatars, not the faceless channels, not the agencies running fake personas pretending to be real people. It's you. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on AI, your thoughts on some of these things that YouTube is implementing. And if you're serious about building a YouTube channel that actually grows and actually makes you money in 2026 and beyond, I am hosting a free live class where I break down my complete YouTube brand blueprint. And it's the exact same strategy I use with my clients, and it is built for where YouTube is headed right now. And if you enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe because I'm gonna keep bringing you the honest, no fluff truth of what is actually happening on YouTube from someone who's been in the trenches doing this for almost 10 years. Up next, make sure you watch this video on the new YouTube brand feature that I talked about in this video. Until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and most importantly, keep being you. Mwah.